Old money. It's 6:41 in the morning. A man walks through a quiet estate. The house is beautiful. The land stretches beyond what he can see, but none of it was built by him. Long before he was born, someone in his family created a fortune. Then another generation protected it. Then another, and another. Today he is simply the latest steward. This is old money, wealth that has survived long enough to outlive the people who originally earned it. Families like the Rockefellers, Vanderbilts and Astors are famous examples. But old money exists everywhere. Not always in headlines, not always in public. Sometimes hidden behind family businesses, farmland, trusts, and investments quietly growing for generations. What makes old money different isn't how much money exists. It's how long it has existed. When wealth survives across decades, the conversation changes. The goal is no longer becoming rich. The goal becomes staying rich. Children grow up learning about responsibility, not consumption, preservation, not spending, stewardship. The lesson is simple. You're not the owner. You're the caretaker. Your job is to pass it forward stronger than you received it. For old money, success isn't measured in years, it's measured in generations. New money. Now imagine someone else. Same net worth, same number of zeros, a completely different story. 20 years ago, he was checking his bank account before buying groceries. Today, he owns companies, properties, investments. His life changed within a single lifetime. This is new money. People who built wealth themselves, entrepreneurs, business owners, athletes, entertainers, innovators. Unlike old money, new money remembers life before success. They remember financial pressure, the uncertainty, the feeling of wanting more options and having none. Those memories don't disappear. They shape everything. Some celebrate success openly. The cars, the watches, the houses, the vacations. Not necessarily because they're trying to impress people, but because every purchase reminds them how far they've come. Others become surprisingly cautious, because they know exactly how difficult wealth was to build. Old money protects wealth. New money remembers earning it. And that difference often lasts forever. The tech rich. It's 2:17 a.m. A young programmer sits alone in front of a screen. The room is small. The furniture is cheap. Nobody outside knows his name. Years later, millions of people will use something he helped create. This is the tech rich, a new category of wealth that barely existed a few decades ago. Before the internet age, fortunes usually took decades to build. Technology changed the timeline. A company could go from an idea to billions of dollars faster than almost any business in history. Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft. Entire industries transformed by a few lines of code and a handful of decisions. What makes tech wealth unique is speed and scale. A product created once can be used by billions. The result is wealth unlike anything previous generations experienced. Interestingly, many tech founders never change much after becoming wealthy. The habits formed before success often remain. Simple clothes, modest lifestyles, minimal displays of status. Because their wealth isn't built on consumption, it's built on ownership. They don't need to show power. They own the platforms everyone else uses. The real estate rich. It's a rainy afternoon. A man stands in front of a small apartment building. Nothing about the property looks extraordinary. Most people walk past without noticing it. But to him, this building represents freedom, because real estate wealth is rarely built through dramatic moments. It's built through repetition. One property, then another, then another. Real estate is one of the oldest wealth-building tools in human history. Long before stock markets, long before technology companies. People understood one thing. Land is limited. More money can be created, more businesses can appear, but desirable land remains scarce. The real estate rich think differently. They think in decades, not months. They understand leverage, cash flow, appreciation, patience. Many fortunes started with a single property purchased at the right time. Over years, rental income created opportunities. Those opportunities created more properties. And eventually, small investments became large empires, brick by brick, year by year. The process rarely looks exciting, until one day people call it success. The celebrity rich. It's 8:34 p.m. A crowd begins screaming, cameras flash. Thousands of people hold up their phones. One person steps onto a stage and instantly becomes the center of attention. This is celebrity wealth. Money created through visibility. Actors, musicians, influencers, television personalities, public figures. Their income exists because millions of people know who they are. But fame and wealth are not the same thing. History is filled with celebrities who earned fortunes and eventually lost them. Because attention is powerful, but temporary. The smartest celebrities understand something important. Attention is only the beginning. Ownership is the destination. They transform audiences into businesses, followers into customers, popularity into assets. For them, fame becomes leverage, a tool used to create something that lasts longer than public attention. Because eventually the spotlight moves on. Ownership remains. The athlete rich. It's game day. A stadium filled with thousands of people waits for a single moment, a single performance, a single result. Professional athletes build wealth through skill, discipline, training, and performance under pressure. Contracts, prize money, endorsements, sponsorships, licensing deals. Everything depends on results. What makes athlete wealth unique is time. Most careers are incredibly short. An athlete may have only 10 years to earn the majority of their lifetime income. That creates urgency. The smartest athletes understand that their body is their first business, but not their last. Many invest, launch companies, buy franchises, acquire assets, build media brands. Because eventually every athlete learns the same lesson. The game ends. Financial intelligence ensures the income doesn't. The investor, rich. It's Saturday morning. No meetings, no audience, no cameras. Just a man reading reports at a kitchen table. This is how many fortunes are built. Quietly. The investor rich create wealth through ownership. Not labor, not fame, not attention. Ownership. They study businesses, evaluate opportunities, manage risk, and allow time to work on their behalf. Warren Buffett is perhaps the most famous example. He didn't become wealthy because of a salary. He became wealthy because he owned productive assets. Investor wealth often appears boring. There are no dramatic headlines, no overnight success stories, just thousands of small decisions made correctly over long periods. The real power comes from compounding, the ability for wealth to generate more wealth, then more, until time itself becomes a financial asset. The investor rich understands something most people underestimate. Patience can be profitable. The crypto rich. It's 2011. A man buys a strange digital asset most people have never heard of. Friends laugh. Family members don't understand it. Experts disagree about it. Years later, that decision changes his life. This is crypto wealth, a completely new path to becoming rich. For the first time in history, digital assets created fortunes that rivaled traditional industries. Some early investors purchased Bitcoin for only a few dollars. Years later, those same holdings became worth millions. The crypto rich are often defined by conviction. They believed in something before the majority did. Sometimes they were rewarded enormously. Sometimes they lost everything. Because crypto wealth comes with extreme volatility. Fortunes can appear quickly and disappear just as quickly. This creates a different mindset, a higher tolerance for uncertainty, a willingness to endure massive swings in value. The rewards can be extraordinary, but so can the risks. The inheritor. One phone call, one signature, one event, and suddenly a person's financial future changes forever. An inheritance arrives. A business, a property portfolio, an investment account, a family estate. Receiving wealth sounds easy. Managing it often isn't, because money and wisdom are not transferred together. Many inheritors receive assets without receiving the knowledge that created them, and that creates challenges. Some preserve and multiply what they inherit. Others lose it. The difference is rarely luck. It's education, discipline, responsibility, the ability to understand what was received and why it exists. Wealth transferred is not automatically wealth preserved. Every generation faces the same test: protect it, grow it, or lose it. The quiet rich. It's Tuesday morning. Traffic is moving slowly. People are driving to work. One car looks exactly like every other car on the road. Nothing about it attracts attention. Inside sits a millionaire. Nobody knows. This is the quiet rich. Perhaps the most fascinating wealthy people in the world. They're rarely famous, rarely discussed, rarely noticed. Teachers, engineers, accountants, mechanics, small business owners, ordinary people living ordinary lives, at least on the surface. For decades they save consistently, invest regularly, avoid unnecessary debt, and make thousands of small financial decisions correctly. The results are invisible until they aren't. They often drive practical vehicles, live in reasonable homes, wear ordinary clothes, and blend effortlessly into everyday life. The quiet rich reveal one of the most important truths about money. Looking wealthy and being wealthy are completely different things. Some people spend money to appear rich, others build wealth quietly, and by the time anyone notices, the work has already been done.